sometimes big, got a platform, they don't come my way. I don't mind telling them how I feel and where I am, because it ain't fighting for a cause, the black cause. You're talking about fighting for a cause of righteousness. That's where I am.
That's very big, because a lot of people would push back on, one of the guys who gets a lot of flack is LeBron James, because he's the biggest name in basketball, if not the biggest sports star in the world. And regardless of whether you agree with him or not, he has a lot of influence. If he says something, people listen, again, regardless of where he stands on certain things. And, there was one camp that says somebody like LeBron James needs to stand up and say things when he sees something wrong with society. We had that whole thing with the whole George Floyd thing and what he was actually saying. But then there's the other side that it says, okay, if you're going to speak about that, how come you're silent about the NBA's relationship with China and what they're doing over there?
Come on.
And it puts him in a position where it's like, well, do I continue to speak on what I believe in and just kind of look the other way for the other maybe atrocities? Or is it easier for me to just not say anything and say, nope, I'm just, ask me all the questions you want about what I do for a living. Don't ask me any questions about that, which I think is what a lot of athletes probably have to end up saying. It's like, if I go down that one rabbit hole, are they going to come at me some other way? And then I'm kind of like, lost with that.
This is what Dr. King said. Dr. King said when he won the Nobel Peace Prize, that was $240,000. Okay. He had a platform that voting rights and the problems that was happening there in these inner cities, these neighborhoods where Aretha Franklin's dad was on there. What he did was he said, this is, say what you mean on paper. He stood up and said up. This man was an educator, doctor, okay? He was teaching people. And what happened is that they thought he was going to use that $240,000 that he got for the Nobel Peace Prize. Man, we passed, we had $5,000 because he gave that money to the cause. He gave that to the cause, okay? He wasn't in it for money. Now, as being the kind of person that he was in it for the Vietnamese as well as the American. He said, how in the world can you go over and bomb the Vietnamese and you bombing your own people here at home who are going to war to fight the Vietnamese? He spoke out about it. Malcolm X spoke out about it. A lot of these, Angela Davis spoke out about it. So you got these athletes, you can't straddle the fence. Nobody asked you to take on the world's problem. The world's got enough problem in itself. But if there's an issue, well, what about what's going on in China? Those problems were created in China long before LeBron started playing basketball. Why put that on him?
I think because of how much money the NBA gets from China, because they're let's just call it what it is. They are a big financial incentive for the NBA. And we see it in Hollywood with too. The little things that we see that, whether you agree with it or not, there is influence there because of the money that's actually coming in. So a lot of the pushback that someone like LeBron James would get is that, okay, are you not saying anything about the atrocities in China because of the money involved that are going to affect your pocketbook? I think that's the only place where he would get pushback. It's difficult. It's a difficult spot to be in. I'm not saying what's right or what's wrong, but these are some of the things that you hear on both sides of the equation. If you're going to speak up, do you have to say everything, or do you only want to talk about what you want to? It's everybody has their own.
But that's what Kareem did. Kareem spoke about everything. That's why he challenged these athletes. Now, look. Oscar Robertson, who was the one who developed the NBA Players Association, okay? These guys are making millions and millions of bucks, okay? One time, even Shaq didn't know Lenny Wilkins was a basketball coach. He didn't know he was a star, okay? That's just how much history that these guys don't know. They know about how to make the money and everything. They know how to be entrepreneurship. That's one reason, like these. Me personally, I'm not going to pay a dime to see a millionaire cry. I'm not. I would not do that.
To see a what?
A millionaire cry. Oh, man, I lost the game. Get out of my face, okay? I'm not, if they're crying, you got these guys who don't want to play, whatever, okay, fine. I'm the kind of person they don't like talking to because, man, you got to, would you trade your job for a window washer? No, then shut up. You feel what I'm saying? The guy
gotcha, man.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
The guy washing the windows in the Empire State Building, they're washing these windows around here. He watched these women for save his family life, and he want to catch football or bounce a basketball. And you talking about you want some rights? Are you kidding me? And if you make it whatever the salary is, and you making that, well then switch jobs and come out here and be street cleaner and see how far you would get.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying?
It makes sense. Like, what would be your advice to give to a professional athlete who says, I'm getting paid really well. My family's taken care of. I got business ventures. I'm doing good for myself and my family. I know I can speak about this topic over here because it's easier for me to speak about. But if I speak about this topic over here that affects my paycheck,
Right.
do I not say anything, or do I speak up about it and then take the risk that I'm going to basically be losing a lot of money if that comes up?
Give a good example. You remember when Colin Kaepernick first kneeled? Mm-hmm. You remember how many NFL teams and the players all kneeled?
Oh, yeah.
And remember how after that it started dwindling down? Mm-hmm. Because some black players said, no, this affected my pocketbook. Mm-hmm. I got my wife and I got the food feed. Colin can go and take that hit by himself. I got your support, man, but I'm going to stay in the back. I got to keep on making my money. You got to call it real like it is. And these guys are not calling it real like it is. Some of them on TV are doing it, but look at the reality. Well, whatever he took a hit on by kneeling, it was never about the American flag. It was about the atrocity that America, the same way John Carlos or Thomas Smith did in Mexico City. Mm-hmm. You can parade this biggest apple on the tree. It's so beautiful, man, but we got a lot of worms and we got some things to work out. You can't hold one section of your children back, man. We are all American. We all bleed the red blood.